Hungry. Hello, hello. Oh, goodness. Hello, everyone. How are you? Hopefully you can hear me. How are we doing? Welcome to Story Saturday. Hopefully it's a beautiful day where you are as well. I just wanted to sit outside today. Hey, Solomon, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. We're going to give it just a couple minutes before I get started with the reading. This will probably be a short one today because the last chapter is only like 7 pages. And then, hi, Angela. Hello, hello. Yeah, so our last chapter is only 7 pages. And then to kind of close out the container that we've had here in reading the 4 agreements over the past 7 weeks, I wanted to end by reading the prayers that he has at the end of the book. It's a prayer for freedom and a prayer for love. So that's what we're going to do today. We will get started here just in a minute. Let me get my glasses off. Excuse me. And as always, these are being recorded. All of them have been recorded. So if you're new today and just popping in and missed any of the other sessions, there is a way for you to be able to go back and watch those and enjoy those. All right. All right, everybody, let's get started. Excuse me. Trying to get all the allergies and sinus stuff out before I start reading. We had a massive, scary storm come through yesterday. I went through it twice, once earlier in the day because I was up in Delaware, and then back in Maryland later that night, including tornado warnings and hail and all kinds of stuff. So I was hoping all that was gonna wash everything away. It did energetically, but pollen's still going. All right, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So Don Miguel Ruiz, The 4 Agreements. We're reading chapter 7, The New Dream, Heaven on Earth. I want you to forget everything that you have learned in your whole life. This is the beginning of a new understanding, a new dream. The dream you are living is your creation. It is your perception of reality that you can change at any time. You have the power to create hell, and you have the power to create heaven. Why not dream a different dream? Why not use your mind, your imagination, and your emotions to dream heaven? Just use your imagination, and a tremendous thing will happen. Imagine that you have the ability to see the world with different eyes whenever you choose. Each time you open your eyes, you see the world around you in a different way. Close your eyes now and then open them and look outside. What you will see is love coming out of the trees, love coming out of the sky, love coming out of the light. You will perceive love from everything around you. This is the state of bliss. You perceive love directly from everything, including yourself and other humans. Even when humans are sad or angry, behind these feelings, you can see that they are also sending love. Using your imagination and your new eyes of perception, I want you to see yourself living a new life, a new dream, a life where you don't need to justify your existence and you are free to be who you really are. Imagine that you have permission to be happy and to really enjoy your life. Your life is free and conflict with yourself and with others. excuse me, your life is free of conflict with yourself and with others. Imagine living your life without fear of expressing your dreams. You know what you want, what you don't want, and when you want it. You are free to change your life the way you really want to. You are not afraid to ask for what you need, to say yes or no to anything or anyone. Imagine living your life without the fear of being judged by others. You no longer rule your behavior according to what others may think about you. You are no longer responsible for anyone's opinion. You have no need to control anyone, and no one controls you either. Imagine living your life without judging others. You can easily forgive others and let go of any judgments that you have. You don't have the need to be right, and you don't need to make anyone else wrong. You respect yourself and everyone else, and they respect you in return. Imagine living without the fear of loving and not being loved. You are no longer afraid to be rejected, and you don't have the need to be accepted. You can say, I love you, with no shame or justification. You can walk in the world with your heart completely open and not be afraid to be hurt. Imagine living your life without being afraid to take a risk and to explore life. You are not afraid to lose anything. You are not afraid to be alive in the world, and you are not afraid to die. Imagine that you love yourself just the way you are. You love your body just the way it is, and you love your emotions just the way they are. You know that you are perfect just as you are. The reason I ask you to imagine these things is because they are all entirely possible. You can live in the state of grace, the state of bliss, the dream of heaven. But in order to experience this dream, you must first understand what it is. Only love has the ability to put you in that state of bliss. Being in bliss is like being in love. Being in love is like being in bliss. You are floating in the clouds. You are perceiving love wherever you go. It is entirely possible to live this way all the time. It is possible because others have done it, and they are no different from you. They live in bliss because they have changed their agreements and are dreaming a different dream. Once you feel what it means to live in a state of bliss, you will love it. You will know that heaven on earth is truth, that heaven truly exists. Once you know that heaven exists, once you know it is possible to stay there, it is up to you to make the effort to do it. 2,000 years ago, Jesus told us about the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of love, but hardly anyone was ready to hear this. They said, what are you talking about? My heart is empty. I don't feel the love that you are talking about. I don't feel the peace that you have. You don't have to do this. Just imagine that his message of love is possible, and you will find that it is yours. The world is very beautiful and very wonderful. Life can be very easy when love is your way of life. You can be loving all the time. This is your choice. You may not have a reason to love, but you can love because to love makes you happy. Love in action only produces happiness. Love will give you inner peace. It will change your perception of everything. You can see everything with the eyes of love. You can be aware that there is love all around you. When you live this way, there is no longer a fog in your mind. The matote has gone on a permanent vacation. This is what humans have been seeking for centuries. For thousands of years, we have been searching for happiness. Happiness is the lost paradise. Humans have worked so hard to reach this point, and this is part of the evolution of the mind. This is the future of humanity. This way of life is possible, and it's in your hands. Moses called it the promised land. Buddha called it nirvana. Jesus called it heaven. And the Toltecs call it a new dream. Unfortunately, your identity is mixed with the dream of the planet. All of your beliefs and agreements are there in the fog. You feel the presence of the parasite and believe it is you. This makes it difficult to let go, to release the parasite and create the space to experience love. You are attached to the judge, attached to the victim. Suffering makes you feel safe because you know it so well. But there is really no reason to suffer. The only reason you suffer is because you choose to suffer. If you look at your life, you will find many excuses to suffer, but a good reason to suffer you will not find. The same is true for happiness. The only reason you are happy is because you choose to be happy. Happiness is a choice, and so is suffering. Maybe we cannot escape from the destiny of the human, but we have a choice to suffer our destiny or to enjoy our destiny, to suffer or to love and be happy, to live in hell or to live in heaven. My choice is to live in heaven. What is yours? Hmm. Goodness. Hi, Butterfly Rain. Hi, Lindsay. I saw you guys come in. Hello, hello. Wonderful little ending chapter there. Oh, goodness. Oh, man, I still have sand. Sorry, I was at the beach yesterday. I still have sand apparently at the bottom of my cup. Just like we've talked about with every other chapter we've read, easier said than done, right? Right? The simple things always are. Is what he said, do I feel what he said is accurate? 100%. I live it in my life. Do I struggle days to lead with love? 100% I do, because I'm a human and I'm living a human existence, right? We're living in a world where we are constantly bombarded with fear, division, hate, war, all the things, right? How can you love in a world filled like that? I can. I choose to because I choose to not suffer. I choose to give love. I choose to give love to even those who hate because I know deep down it's just fear. It's just fear. So it's work, though, right? It's work. It takes work. It takes mindful practice every day. And the more you do it every day, the more it starts becoming second nature. And I don't have to think about it as much. Does that mean that thoughts never creep in? Of course not. Again, I'm human. We all are, right? We all are. We're all human. But I consciously make the effort stop, stop. Like I love cats and I'm obsessed with cats, right? Little multidimensional beings that they are. And I'm sure you all heard my cat. We're trying to peacefully read. She had something to say. So, like for gifts and stuff, my mom will get me, shirts that have cats on it with sayings. And one that I just got for Christmas was a cat's face, and it says, "Not me silently judging you." And I laughed when I got it because of cats. And that's kind of, I feel like how they are, right? Sometimes you look at them and you're just like, I would love to know what they're thinking right now because they are so judging this human right now. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to wear that shirt. Like, I really don't even want to wear that shirt because I don't want to give the impression to other humans that I encounter that inside I'm silently judging them because I'm not. I'm not judging them. I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you're going through in your mind. I don't know what you're going through in your life and in your career and in your relationships. And who am I to judge what you're going through, right? Who am I? I'm worried about myself. I'm going to give you love and I hope that you find inner peace, but I'm not going to judge you. Even if I might not agree with things, right? We don't always agree with other people. We don't have to agree with other people. We don't, we're allowed, sorry, I was like, that's not coming out the way I wanted to. We are allowed to not agree with someone and still not judge them, right? Maybe I might not have made certain life choices that other people have, but I'm not judging them for that. I'm not in their shoes. They probably are making the best decision that they can with the information that they have. And they think this is the best decision. Who am I to say that it's not, right? And it took a lot of work and a lot of time for me to get there. A lot of work and a lot of time for me to get there. And I literally had to do exactly what he's talking about. I had to rewrite all my agreements. I had to learn, what are my agreements? Where did they come from? Do I agree with that? Do I not agree with that? And it was work. It always is, right? It was work. But I was able to do that, and I was able to get rid of a lot of old agreements that were still that parasite stuck in my brain, you know, in my subconscious, excuse me, trying to derail me from heaven on earth. And I finally said, no, no, I am going to, excuse me. Oh God, why am I blanking out right now? I am going to be impeccable with my word. I am going to not take anything personally. I am not going to make assumptions. I am always going to do my best. And if I can do those things, it totally changes the way others even interact with me, talk to me, treat me. Does that mean that some people just are not at a healed place, right? They just are, and they're going to project out onto you. But I still don't take it personally because I know it has nothing to do with me. I have not done anything to them. I have not said anything to them. I'm not going to assume what they're going through because I'm never going to be able to guess. And I don't want to. It's their journey and their path. And if for some reason our paths cross again and they feel like sharing with me, great. I'd be happy to walk along beside them on their journey and guide them. But until then, I'm not going to assume. And I always do my best. And some days it's going to be better than others. Some days I don't have the energy. Some days I need to cocoon. Some days I don't have anything to give to others. I have to give to myself. But I know that. I know that. So yeah, Jacqueline, hello, hello. All right, so we are gonna finish. Yes, Jenny, can we be quiet, please, for this last little part? Okay. So we're gonna finish this amazing book. Of course, just like a child, wait until after and then speak. Hi, Catherine. Hello, hello. So we're going to finish by reading the prayers at the very end and closing out, like I said, this amazing reading that we've done over the past 7 weeks of Don Miguel Ruiz, the Four Agreements. Close it out by reading his final prayers, one for freedom and one for love. If you missed any of the sessions, all of these have been recorded, including today's, which will be up later. You feel free to go back and listen to them. I am going to continue Story Saturday because I really enjoy this space. So the next book that I felt called to was Just One Thing by Rick Hansen. So we will be starting that next week, and we'll be starting with the first part, Be Good to Yourself. And we'll do probably a couple chapters each week for 4 weeks. And then we'll decide, all of us together, if we keep going, because we can go through the whole book. Or if you guys want to vote, I can tell you the remaining sections and we can go where we need to. This is your space too. So, all right, everybody. So get comfortable. Get comfortable for these final closing words and prayer from Don Miguel Ruiz. Please take a moment to close your eyes if you feel safe. Open your heart and feel all the love that comes from your heart. I want you to join with my words in your mind and in your heart to feel a very strong connection of love. Together, we are going to do a very special prayer to experience a communion with our Creator. Focus your attention on your lungs as if only your lungs exist. Feel the pleasure when your lungs expand. to fulfill the biggest need of the human body, to breathe. Take a deep breath and feel the air as it fills your lungs. Feel how the air is nothing but love. Notice the connection between the air and the lungs, a connection of love. Expand your lungs with air until your body has the need to expel the air. And then exhale and feel the pleasure again. Because when we fulfill any need of the human body, it gives us pleasure. To breathe gives us so much pleasure. Just to breathe is enough for us to be happy, to enjoy life, just to be alive. Feel the pleasure to be alive, the pleasure of feeling, of love. Prayer for freedom. Today, Creator of the universe, we ask that you come to us and share with us a strong communion of love. We know that your real name is love, that to have a communion with you means to share the same vibration, the same frequency that you are, because you are the only thing that exists in the universe. Today, help us to be like you are, to love life, to be life, to be love. Help us love the way you love, with no conditions, no expectations, no obligations, without any judgment. Help us to love and accept ourselves without any judgment. Because when we judge ourselves, we find ourselves guilty and we need to be punished. Help us to love everything you create unconditionally, especially other human beings, especially those who live around us, all our relatives and people whom we try so hard to love. Because when we reject them, we reject ourselves. And when we reject ourselves, we reject you. Help us to love others just the way they are, with no conditions. Help us to accept them the way they are, without judgment. Because if we judge them, we find them guilty. We blame them, and we have the need to punish them. Today, clean our hearts of any emotional poison that we have. Free our minds from any judgment so that we can live in complete peace and complete love. Today is a very special day. Today, we open our hearts to love again so that we can tell each other, I love you, without any fear, and really mean it. Today, we offer ourselves to you. Come to us, use our voices, use our eyes, use our hands, and use our heart to share ourselves in a communion of love with everyone. Today, Creator, help us to be just like you are. Thank you for everything that we receive this day, especially for the freedom to be who we really are. If you feel called, amen. prayer for love. We are going to share a beautiful dream together, a dream that you will love to have all of the time. In this dream, you are in the middle of a beautiful, warm, sunny day. You hear the birds, the wind, and a little river. You walk toward the river. At the edge of the river is an old man in meditation, and you see that out of his head comes a beautiful light of different colors. You try not to bother him, but he notices your presence and opens his eyes. He has the kind of eyes that are full of love and a big smile. You ask him how he is able to radiate all that beautiful light. You ask him if he can teach you to do what he is doing. He replies that many, many years ago, he asked the same question of his teacher. The old man begins to tell you his story. My teacher opened his chest and took out his heart, and he took a beautiful flame from his heart. Then he opened my chest, opened my heart, and he put that little flame inside it. He put my heart back in my chest, and as soon as my heart was inside me, I felt intense love because the flame he put in my heart was his own love. That flame grew in my heart and became a big, big fire, a fire that doesn't burn, but purifies everything that it touches. And that fire touched each one of the cells of my body. And the cells of my body loved me back. I became one with my body, but my love grew even more. The fire touched every emotion of my mind, and all the emotions transformed into a strong and intense love. And I loved myself completely and unconditionally. But the fire kept burning, and I had the need to share my love. I decided to put a little piece of my love in every tree, and the trees loved me back. And I became one with the trees. But my love did not stop. It grew more. I put a piece of love in every flower, in the grass, in the earth, and they loved me back. And we became one. And my love grew more and more to love every animal in the world. They responded to my love and they loved me back. And we became one. But my love kept growing and growing. I put a piece of my love in every crystal, in every stone in the ground, in the dirt, in the metals, and they loved me back. And I became one with the earth. And then I decided to put my love in the water, in the oceans, in the rivers, in the rain, in the snow. And they loved me back, and we became one. And still my love grew more and more. I decided to give my love to the air, to the wind. I felt a strong communion with the earth, with the wind, with the oceans, with nature. And my love grew and grew. I turned my head to the sky, to the sun, to the stars, and put a little piece of my love in every star, in the moon, in the sun, and they loved me back. And I became one with the moon and the sun and the stars, and my love kept growing and growing. And I put a little piece of my love in every human, and I became one with the whole of humanity. Wherever I go, whomever I meet, I see myself in their eyes because I am a part of everything, because I love. And then the old man opens his chest, takes out his heart with that beautiful flame inside, and he puts that flame in your heart. And now that love is growing inside of you. Now you are one with the wind, with the water, with the stars, with all of nature, with all animals, and with all humans. You feel the heat and the light emanating from the flame in your heart. Out of your head shines a beautiful light of different colors. You are radiant with the glow of love. And you pray, thank you, Creator of the universe, for the gift of life you have given me. Thank you for giving me everything that I have ever truly needed. Thank you for the opportunity to experience this beautiful body from this wonderful mind. Thank you for living inside me with all your love, with your pure and boundless spirit, with your warm and radiant light. Thank you for using my words, for using my eyes, for using my heart to share your love wherever I go. I love you just the way you are. And because I am your creation, I love myself just the way I am. Help me to keep the love and the peace in my heart and to make that love a new way of life, that I may live in love the rest of my life. If you feel called, amen. And then slowly, whenever you're ready, come back into the space. I'm going to let the cat out. Oh, goodness. I am so sorry about the kitty cat. Somebody was quite vocal today. My goodness. Oh, good, Butterfly Rain. I'm glad you found it relaxing. I was worried. She was having a temper tantrum. So from now on, we just will not have her in the room. Awesome, awesome. Hannah, what's that? Oh, let me go back up here. All right, good. Oh, thank you, Melissa, for writing down the next book that we're doing starting next week. Hannah, the lives are on Saturdays. Um, Here we're live Saturdays starting at 4:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, they will be, excuse me, uploaded. ZOOM is normally really quick with turnover time, so probably within an hour, it'll be uploaded. The replay will be uploaded. If you go to my Insight Timer teacher page and go to my About section and scroll all the way to the bottom, you will find a link where you can find more information about where you can find those. So awesome. She had inspiring words to communicate the kitty. She certainly had something to say. Yes, she sure did. She gets wet food for dinner, and she normally starts about 4 o'clock protesting for her wet food because clearly she's neglected, right? So, oh goodness. So awesome. Whether you're new today or whether you've been along this journey from the beginning, it really has been a magical 7 weeks. I had not read this book in a really long time. So it was a wonderful refresher. I feel like this is one of those books where it doesn't matter how many times you've read it. Each time you read it, you come away with a different feeling or interpretation because each time you're going to be at a different place on your own journey, right? So it definitely resonated very differently. Oh, I can't talk today. Very differently for me today than it did the first time that I read it, because I'm not the same person that I was the last time that I read it. So it's definitely, I feel like one of those books that you want to always want to keep with you. Melissa, I came in late and missed the whole refresher. And yes, I agree. Wish I heard the readings. On to the next. Yeah. Go to my about section, Melissa, and scroll down all seven. Well, after later today, all 7 weeks will be up there. So you can go back at your own leisure and go through it all the way from the beginning. Today is definitely going to be the shortest one. The first one's the longest one. And then most of them are an hour, maybe between an hour and a half, between reading. And then normally we're doing a discussion after. But this is where this is kind of the last chapter of the book. It's just kind of wrapping everything up. So normally I would read the chapter and then we'd have a discussion. And we had some really good discussions and really good comments from people about incorporating all the different, concepts from the chapter because they're super simple and they're super hard to do, right? Super hard to do. So yeah, so like I said, next week we're going to start with Rick Hansen, Just One Thing, Be Good to Yourself. And it's a very different than the Four Agreements in the sense of the Four Agreements you're reading and you're taking in the words and you're seeing how it kind of sits with you and how you interpret it and ingest it. And Rick Hansen's Just One Thing is very different in the sense that it gives you actual things that you can start doing that day to start doing just one thing for the different categories. So you'll definitely want to bring probably something to write with, a journal, because it's way more tool based. It's going to be giving you all tons and tons and tons of things that you can do and start doing right away to start manifesting that Buddha brain, right? retraining our brain, rewiring those neurotransmitters. So I'm super excited about that, and we'll see how that goes. So awesome. I didn't read Rick Hanson's book. Yeah, it is packed. I mean, I think there's like over 50 different specific things that you can do. Um, Obviously not 50 in each one, but throughout the whole book. So it really is a practical guide and toolkit for how you can be good to yourself in several different categories, which will break up and do about 2 or 3 a week for the next 4 weeks. And then, like I said, at the end of those 4 weeks, we can literally keep going through the whole book because it's broken into like 4 different sections that are focused on different things. Oh, I can't get my phone because it's recording behind me. We have, hold on one second. It's just easier to tell you all, right? So the first section, which is where we are going to be starting, is be good to yourself. The next section is enjoy life. Then we have build strengths. We have engage the world, and then be at peace. So we'll start with part 1 next week, and we can see what everybody wants to do. We can literally just go through each part one by one, or if people are drawn to one particular one, we can do that. This does not have to be done in order. It can be done however you want it to be. So looking forward to that. All right. So for those who don't know me, my name is Casey. I am a licensed mental health therapist. I'm a holistic health practitioner, Reiki master, intuitive, spiritual guide, and medium. I host 2 lives a week on here. I host this Story Saturday every Saturday at 4:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I host a live on Wednesday nights called Wisdom Wednesday, and that's 7:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there I do oracle card readings, and normally start with like a brief energy read of what's going on. Then I've channeled a card for the collective. I read that. Then I open it up for individual readings for people. So, and it's just one card pulls on that. So we have a lovely, lovely, amazing community that we have all that we've grown and come to that every week. Amazing, beautiful souls. So join us if that's something you're called to. If you don't follow me already, I certainly would appreciate a follow. I don't have a lot of tracks up, but I'm working on that. I've been creating some courses, some offerings, and that's where I was supposed to focus and do that first. And then a couple new offerings. So those are all done now. And I'll be announcing those on my socials soon. So those, well, I announced 2 already, and then I've got 2 more big ones to go. So that's all done. So now I can start creating content for here again and start doing some more guided meditations. I want to do my starseed talk that I did, was super popular. That's also available for replay, but I was going to break it down and do a couple ones for here, Insight Timer, talking about how to find out if you're a star seed, and then a short one about some different star seeds and some common characteristics of those. So some stuff coming up soon. So all right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope to see you again next Saturday. So if it's your afternoon right now, I hope you have a good rest of the afternoon. If it is your day, or well, I guess it'd be real early morning, then I hope you have a good day. For other people, it would be the middle of the night. So if you're here, go to sleep. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for being here, and I hope to see you all again. Take care.